Indeed, thank you very much for tuning into AdTech TV News. It's another moment that you begin a new thing that has never been before. After the news, we give you the youth conversation in AdTech TV. My name is Musyoki again, and you can see in our studio we have a guest. He'll be introducing himself and we are getting to know more about him. Welcome to AdTech TV.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So can you tell us who you are?
Thank you so much, Caleb. And what I like the conversation is we look like we are all Gen Z. But nevertheless, let me just introduce myself.
Yeah.
My name is Honorable Gideon Mereru Oleorikai. I'm a Kenyan, and not just a Kenyan, but a patriot Kenyan. Born and raised in one of our counties, 034, that is Kajiado County. That's where I studied, that's where I was born, that's where I studied my high school level, my primary level. Yeah. And later I joined our neighbor county, Makueni County, whereby I furthered my studies in high school level there. And later I find myself furthering my higher educational level in Nairobi, that is Nairobi County. So this is Gideon Mereru. Who is Gideon Mereru? Gideon Mereru is the current Chief Executive Officer of our community-based organization, namely Okoa Vijana Initiative. Yeah. Whereby I hope we'll be able to delve more and currently also working with universities and colleges, the Student Association of Kenya, which is an umbrella that brings all the universities and colleges. It's an umbrella that brings all the institutions of our learning together. We implement our activities through the Ministry of Education, specifically the Department for Higher Education. Oh, yeah. So that is about Gideon Mereru.
Wow, that's amazing. You have just spoken about colleges and universities. Right now, what is happening in our country, if you have heard the news that we have read, is that there is strike that is happening for the young people in the universities. I don't know how you can speak about that.
Thank you so much, Caleb. I wish I could get clearly the question. But now you have just given us the synopsis of what's happening currently in the country. Yeah. Of course, this is our motherland. And this is a democratic country, which actually we have our democracy. Yeah. And democracy allows us even to demonstrate. So you have just asked me right now, we are feeling the wave of young generation who are actually within the institution of our learning, who are there in the streets. They are not there in the street just in vain, but of course they are calling for justice upon themselves. Not that we lack justice, but we have justice, but
just
only that.
The brief, yes. What these young people are doing is that they are claiming that the workers in the universities, the money, everything, they're just saying that there's a problem.
Thank you. I was going there and I was just trying to lay the foundation of why they are going to the streets. This young generation who are actually in the institution of our learning are going to the streets basically to call for justice upon themselves. And when I started saying that, we have the new funding model that is coming on board, and of course you've seen that young generation are saying that it is not in their favor, you see, and they are saying that how the process happened was not included to their opinion, because new funding model just came up and now they are engaged and told them you're going to be placed in band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, band 5, and how they feel like how, and when you see the process on how the selection was happening, it didn't favor some of them, especially the young people who are now enrolled into the universities, who are the newcomers to the university, that is the freshers. Because now you find after this young person joined the university, by the end time they are going to exit, they will have to pay a lot of money. Either the one that they inquire through the HELB, that is Higher Education Loan Board, and now they are saying that it's not fair. How the category also happened was not included. So I think the young generation are not doing wrong, because demonstration is also enshrined in our constitution, Article 37 of our constitution, which clearly states that Kenyans have the right to demonstrate, to picket and petition within the high authority offices. So I think they are doing something that aligns to our constitution, and we also have to agree. And now they are saying that we need to be reconstituted. That new funding model should be recommended. But now I have talked now the one that I'm currently working on, if I am right. Yes.
That's amazing. So I just want to ask you now the very important question.
Yes.
How did you begin this Okoa Vijana? Oh, and what just made you to begin it? Because I know there's what triggered all this. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Caleb. I like the conversation.
Sure.
Now, I was just giving myself introduction on where I am coming from, and you see that I have two shoes because now I'm working under the universities and colleges, Peace Student Association of Kenya, and as also said, I'm also the founder. Not just the CEO, the founder of Okoa Vijana Initiative. Let me just take you the process. How did we give birth to this baby called Okoa Vijana Initiative? This baby was born in 2020 during the entrance of Corona into the country. You know what happened in 2020. Sure. But actually, as a country, there was lockdown. People were not able to access other counties. People were barred from traveling. And now, after seeing that process, can you imagine which group of people suffered? They are the young generation, because actually they are the 75% who are many in this country. And now some of them went home. There was no employment. These young people were there in the community. They were just sitting. So what happened? We sit back in the community and we say, no, we can do something constructive to keep ourselves busy. Because now you find young people went back home. They were not employed. They were just there idling. And you can know that an idle mind is a devil workshop. You see. Yeah. So this young generation end up even engaging in drugs activity. You see. Some of them lack even sustainability to keep them at home. So what they do is actually to go and attack a neighbor. It's just to go and attack somebody on the way, either to get something to buy. So now that was a challenge. And we said, as young people, how can we be able to do? Because this is not just my idea, but an idea of many people from the background that I'm coming from. And we sit back and we said, let us do something constructive to keep ourselves busy. Let me just tell you, Caleb, the first thing that we did was like, because now we are here in the community, let us do something constructive. You find if Caleb is there and he has a home that is not fenced, we can now organize ourselves as a group of 10 people or 5 people, and we come to fence your home. And you find when we are fencing, we are able to make stories, we are able to engage, and now you find we are not just idle, but we are able to do something constructive. And you remember that there was lockdown. So at the same time, nobody was able to cross to another county because we have keep ourselves busy working in the community. And when we went ahead, we said, now, we are able to fence for Caleb's home. We are able to fence for maybe Eunice's home. We are able to fence for Gideon's home. At the process to ensure that we are busy and working in the community. Afterwards, we say, no, we can also do something. What? Let us go and plant. You can have maybe a small farm in your home. We come and cultivate. We come and work. Ensure that your environment is secure. So we did that as a team. And something that later came, we said, no. After all, we are able to do something constructive. Can you able to have something that has a roadmap? Can you able to have something that will be able to guide us even in the future days? And that is the time that the idea of registering this association came on board. And we are able to organize ourselves. We are able to structure ourselves. We are able to work now and ensure that we have something constructive that can be able to help us in the community. And I assure you, Caleb, we now started the process of drafting even the constitution, maybe choosing the secretariat, and now we forwarded our name. We forwarded the name for the community-based organization to be registered. In 2021, we are able to get the certificate, and now we are working as a team. Because now you find we were able to see the areas that what can we able to do apart from just doing this one. What can we able to do? And later, Corona came and disappeared, and actually we structured the association, and that's where I'm working right now. Yes.
So Okoa Vijana is only 4 years old.
It's 4 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and how many counties have you reached so far?
So when we were starting, we were able to map some of the areas that we wanted, because there's different focus area. You see, we could not just have an community-based organization that has no roadmap, because it's not just having it. It's not just actually existing. But you people, what are you doing? The first thing that we decided to map was not even the county. I'll come to answer the question that you're asking me right now. But allow me just to give the background on what we do exactly, because it's not just an community-based organization that is existing, but we are able to map some of the areas that we can be able to implement as young people. The first one that came on board was actually leadership and democratic governance. We were able to see we have people who are actually in our county governments. We have people even in our national assembly. But in terms of policy development, in terms of policy implementation, in terms of drafting even some of the legislation that actually guide our constitution, some of them are not familiar, either because they were appointed because of their clan, they were appointed because of their, maybe the side that they relied, they were appointed because they were able to maybe influence people, but they didn't have really the qualities and leadership skill in their capacity. So the first thing that we said we can be able to do something concerning leadership and democratic governance.
Yeah.
This is now to engage young people and tell them leadership is not then that time that you can be elected as an MP. Leadership is not just time that you can be elected as a governor, but leadership starts from you, from your background on what you are doing. The first thing, leadership starts from your home, because actually you understand that a father is the person who is guiding a home. So if you are a young person from the community, there are things that you can do which guide you or transpire you to a future time to be a leader. So that is one of the focus area. Another thing that actually we were able to map was environment and climate action. The first thing that actually came onto that, we are the pastoralists. Because actually, not even the Ma, because actually the other community that are also pastoralists. But let me just speak on an angle that I'm coming from, the pastoralist community, that is Kajiado County. So one of the challenges that we have normally is actually long drought that sometimes we experience. And you can imagine, our main source of maybe something that we depend on was actually the livestock that we have. So sometimes when we have drought, everything can be cleared. Because what can this animal that we are having depend on? They depend on grass, and not just grass, but green grass. So you can imagine, if we cannot conserve our environment and make sure that our environment is taken care, for sure, we will not have a future, because now all our animal will die. So one of the focus areas that we were able to identify was to take care of our environment. And this team of Okoa Vijana initiative head now to organize ourselves, and we were like, how can we be able to curb this challenge? The first thing that we can do is actually to plant trees. Because now, if we are able to organize ourselves and to work within the community, why can we not organize ourselves and plant trees within our community? The first thing that we can start with, even our primary school that are within the local community, can you be able to take care of them? Can you be able to take care of our environment and ensure that nobody is allowed to cut trees? Because now that is a challenge that we are having for, and that is something that I think globally we are having the gas emission that is happening, which is a challenge actually globally. So that is one of the focus area. Another focus area that actually we focus as an entity or as a community-based organization is actually core curricular and talent development. What do you understand by saying that? Young people have talent. And you can attest for me right now that we have young people who are in our local community and their voices has never been heard, either because they don't access power, either because they are not well connected, either because they are not well informed. And the first thing that we say, we need to come boldly and keep ourselves busy to ensure we cannot just sit in the community, but explore in other areas to ensure that our talent is shown. And you can assure me right now that as a country, I think we are proud because we have athletes who are actually have brought pride not only to Africa, but even to our motherland country, because we have able to empower them. So you can imagine, if you are able to nurture young talents within our community and let them speak of their voice and let them do something constructive and let them showcase to their talent, don't you think that we'll have a promising society? Because now these are young people. So the first thing that we were able to say, we can be able to empower ourselves, organize some of the clubs activity within the community. Can you be able to play games within location to location? Can you be able to play games to maybe within constituency to another constituency? So you find from then, these young people are not just there, but they are able to showcase their talent. Because all of us, we cannot come to offices.
I have a question that is rising on this.
Yes.
When you are saying about...
I really wish, let me just interject with you.
Yes.
Maybe I could now give the synopsis, the focus area, then I will be able to take the question. But if it's burning, I will answer.
It's just after you have mentioned the young people.
Yes.
There's this question that rose actually this week about the Kajiado County. It is stated there is no stadium. So in that statement that I saw, now I'm raising a question at the back of my mind. How are young people in Kajiado County empowered by Okoa Vijana initiative? When let's say you collect all of them, those like say from this FC, that FC, they come together. How do you meet with them in a place where there's...
Thank you, Caleb. And you can assure me, either in your locality, your fellow youth cannot go to play in the stadium within the county that you are coming from. But I think they are locals fields within your community. So as a community-based organization, we do organize, and that's why I was specific to tell you, we have this activity going on within our locality. So if you are coming from this location, there is a field there. You know, I don't know whether you can remember. If you are a real Gen Z, you can remember that there's a time young people can go and play socks around, either in the community. So these young people, you can be able to nurture them, allow them to have a small field there. But now you have asked me a question. Kajiado County, and I didn't want to talk on that because I think we have an entity that is Kajiado County, who are actually now concerned on that. The stadium is there, which actually I will say devolution came, and of course devolution give counties authority either to ensure that there is well infrastructure. So I think that question could be relevant to the leadership of Kajiado County. But as a youth leader, just maybe compliment or even support what you are saying to tell the people, the leadership of Kajiado County to do the necessary to allocate something to the people of Kajiado to ensure that the youth have a feel. Because as a community-based organization, we have not yet reached to the level of maybe constructing a stadium. But if we can get goodwill from well-wishers, we can be able to do that. So I think I've tried to answer to the best of my knowledge. Yes. Yes.
I was just going through your social media handle, that was Facebook, and then I got across this picture of that you took with the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi on July 30th. And then there's a question that was just rising when I saw this picture.
Yes.
Is that after meeting a great man like this, in the country, not even in the place, but in the whole country, and East Africa is recognized. How does a politician, how does leaders of the government, does it have any impact in your organization?
Thank you so much, Caleb. And I think for systematic question answered, I was able to give, because I know even the audience want to hear what are the focus area. I was actually able to answer the one that I answered, co-curricular. Maybe so that we can divert the question, I will come to answer what you have just asked me right now. But could be well if now I give the audience our focus area, because there are 6. And if we are very clear, I've answered around 4. So there is one that actually we have, that is actually the education system, which actually will also have to create awareness of the education to the counties that we are, to ensure that young people are informed. I will try to summarize, because I see you are so much organized in the question format, but I will try to answer all of them. So the other one is actually the education, and we are trying to call on board all parents within our community, and actually we are also coming on board to support where necessary to ensure that we have the knowledge, because when we don't teach these young people, when we don't create awareness to be informed, for sure we will have a country that is just going back but not forward. But when we are all informed and when we are all educated, we will be able to see a future. Another focus area is actually research and documentation and partnership, that actually now we call on board development partners. I'm a young person, a real Gen Z. That is what I can say about myself. But the dream that I'm having, without the support and implementation of other people who are well informed, you find such a dream that we are having will be in vain. And that is one of the focus areas that actually we also call on board different people who are interested with this idea to come and support. Because now young people have idea, young people are innovators, young people are actually the one inventing this thing. But because they lack the support, they cannot be able to implement what they have in their soul. Now, back to the question that you have asked me. I never expected that you can peruse my social media. Maybe just to answer what you have asked me, our country is a country of democracy. And everybody can meet every leader. You see, that is something that actually I can say everybody can meet. It's the only thing that we can do. We cannot implement the bad thing, but implement the good thing. But I think personally, I could wish to just appreciate His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya,
Dr. William Ruto.
Dr. William Samoei Ruto. That he has also tried the best to ensure that there is a well coordination within our government. Because for now, in terms of the structure, in terms of women empowerment, I think this is the government that has tried to give the best platform for ladies. That is actually something that you can attest, either in the appointment, either in the selection. And when I say that, you know, there is a minority group, so it's something that we need to understand. The minority are the youth, the women, and PWD, who are people living with a disability. So I think that is something that we can talk about. And another thing, we have also seen recently that he has dissolved the cabinet and actually appointed, either because of the wave of the Gen Z which actually arose the other time. But right now you have asked me, I have took a photo with His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi. That was an official duty, and of course I told you that I'm also working apart from the entity that we serve. So actually that was an official, and I didn't want to be captured, of course, trying to align something that I did wrongly to other, but that was official aligning to my official duty that I also serve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing. So good viewers, we go for a short break. When we come back, we have more and more of this. Guess what? Stay tuned in AdTech TV. The discussion is the Youth Conversation Corner with me, Musyoki. We're coming back after the break. Welcome back after the short break. Thank you so much for those who are still commenting, those who are still tuning in the show, the Youth Conversation Corner, with our guest today, Honorable Gideon. We are still continuing with the conversation about the young people, the Gen Zs. Remember to always send your questions that you have at the comment section. You can send them in Facebook, in YouTube. We are going to reply the questions anytime from now. So welcome back, Mr. Gideon.
Thank you. Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah. So it's happy again to have you. Yeah, so we are still continuing with the conversation. And right now, I need to ask you a very, I don't know how to put this question, but young people in our country, they face a problem whereby you find they have given up in life. You meet a young person, is here. When you ask him, he tells you that, hey, Miss Jolly, you know, you're just taking life very normal. As an initiative, how do you handle such cases? Right now, suppose after watching somebody, just watching, saying that life has no meaning to me, watching, just after finishing Form 4, he never proceeded, even after finishing the campus, he never got a job, then his whole life is of no value. How do you tell that person maybe watching?
Thank you so much, Caleb. And you have asked me one of the critical questions that actually affect us as young generation or as young people.
Yeah.
That young people have given up. But the question is not even about why they have given up, but the issue is, what is the reason for them to give up?
The reason.
The issue is actually either because of our economic stability that we have as a country, which actually young people are hardly to manage. Because sometimes when these young people are not economically empowered, or they don't have a well economically structured or growing economy, it's a challenge to them.
Yeah.
And the first thing that results to that is actually unemployment. So you can imagine if we are all of us and we are over 100 here and we don't have job, of course it's a challenge. Because how can we be able to get even something to sustain us? You see, it's a challenge. So the only thing that we can have is somebody to go and hang themselves, which is actually illegal, which is something that we are trying to condemn.
Yeah.
Or even young people to go and engage in drugs, because they see the only available thing that I can go is to go and smoke. The only thing that available is to go and maybe even choose something that is illegal. You see, which it's a challenge to the community. So that is one of the challenges that actually young people are encountering. And the other thing, we find that as young people, we are neglected because we are not included even in decision making to some platform, whereby this is really lagging behind the dream of young people to be true. Because you find in terms of including them into leadership, it's a challenge.
Sure.
So because some of them are not there. So when we are raising issues that we can do to solve the problem, young people are not included in table. So you find young people are really actually suffering within our community, and it's something that we need to acknowledge. It's something that actually it is there. It's real. Because when you go to the street, how many people do you see? They are young generation, because they're the majority. And now you have asked me a question as an initiative. What are we doing to ensure that we empower and solve such problem?
Yeah.
We cannot be 100% sure that we can solve the problem. But when I started earlier before, I started by telling you the focus area. Our focus area also have solution within itself. Because when we talk about core curricular and talent development, that is actually, you are doing away from these young people from either engaging in drugs activity, but now you keep them busy. You see, you are now exposing these young people to showcase their talent. So as an initiative, we can be able to empower them by creating the space, by letting them to have a voice, by letting them or by exposing them to the individual who will be able to nurture their dream to be true. The other focus area, because I want to state that because every area has a problem.
Yeah.
So by asking me, how are you able to curb the challenge that these young people are suffering within the community? When we come now into the environment, actually, we are able to tell them, ensure that you take care of your environment. Because when you take care of your environment, the first thing, your animal, let me just tell you, will not suffer because they lack grass.
Yeah.
But actually, your animals will have grass. So when we have grass, you are able to get milk and go sell and get money. What do you do with your money? You develop yourself. So you find the challenge that we have within your community, you are able to solve either through the opportunity that you're able to create for yourself. Another thing, if you are there and you are a farmer, if you take care of your environment, for sure, you can be able to have a good produce at the end of the day. And when you have good produce, you are able to sell and to get money and to develop yourself. Yeah. So when we are able to do that as young people, for sure, I believe we will be able to prosper in our areas. Because now, there are some of them who are saying that we cannot be able to do hard tasks, we cannot be able to do hard work. But it is a challenge because we can never all of us be in the offices or occupy the offices because they're already full. But we can also be a venture into the entrepreneurship, create ourselves in the areas of how we can be able to make tech within ourselves. So I don't know whether I've answered what you have just asked me right now.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
I just wanted to hear this question, this conversation about how your initiative can reach the young people. That's amazing. So I have another question that I've just come across. There's this question that normally comes to one's mind whenever they hear something like an initiative, like Okoa Vijana initiative. And then somebody could there be asking himself, I've been in life, but I think I want to join such an initiative.
Thank you so much, Caleb. If I get your question well, now that is relating now to how can somebody subscribe to be a part and parcel of our team.
Yeah, wants to join the initiative.
Yes, Okoa Vijana initiative is actually not an individual community-based organization. It is actually for all of us as young people. So the first thing I do say, even for the membership subscription, everybody is a member. Because now I'm a young person. How can I be able to empower my fellow young people? Is actually by letting them becoming members by default. And by defining, by making them, the first thing, if we are having an activity either in your county, an example Kitui, let me just quote example of Kitui. How can we be able to empower ourselves as young people within the community of Kitui? We are able to work as a team. We are able to have a structure that will be able to guide us to work together as members and ensure that we have a voice. So I think if somebody want to subscribe, they are able to do that because it's open for all of us. We also have social media platform, which I think at the end of the day we'll be able to give the people.
We should be getting to that point.
Yes.
Maybe I was asking at this because maybe there's a young person there who could say this initiative could be like for the colleges and universities. So I wanted you to now give the clarity of what you have done. And you have already given the credit that is for everyone. It does not discriminate.
Thank you so much. Let me just make clarity on this. I work in two entities. I'm the founder and the CEO of Okoa Vijana Initiative. And to that, I am also employed or working under the universities and colleges, Peace Student Association of Kenya, which is an umbrella that brings the institution of higher learning together. So Okoa Vijana is actually an independent body, and of course I'm also working under the universities and colleges, Peace Student Association of Kenya. Yes. Oh,
that's amazing. What are some of the challenges as an initiative you have faced?
Thank you so much, Caleb. I'm loving because I'm a young person, and of course there are so many challenges. The first thing is actually to make this something grow, because when I'm sorry, you are not a mother. Of course, if you ask a mother how they can be able to nurture a baby to grow, they tell you it's a very tedious process. Because now you'll have to carry a baby for 9 months. You give birth. You ensure that you take care of her or him when they are at that young stage. Sometimes you can even wash them. They go outside, they become dirty, but you'll just have to accept. Why am I giving you that example? This is a young baby. It's just 4 years old. There are challenges because to make it stand, it's a challenge because we rely with development partners, well-wishers who will come on board to support this baby to be. So the first thing is now to sensitize and ensure that this baby is growing well. So there are quite challenges, like the first sometime, even people are willing to subscribe and work there. But maybe you lack resources to ensure that you support whatever that they are looking for.
Yeah.
So there are quite challenges that actually that are there, but we are managing. I will just say that. Yes.
Okay. Does it face some financial challenges?
If you get my question clearly, or even my feedback that I've just, yes, when I say that,
because I want to get something
Yeah.
after that. I'm going to hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Caleb. That is one of the challenges, because now you find we are going to organize for a tournament. An example, maybe in Nairobi County. An example, maybe even a field, a certain field. The young people are there. They want 2 games kits that they can play with. And sometimes maybe I can only manage to get 20. And these people who are participating are even 100.
Yeah.
So you find you could run to ensure that where are you going to get for this 60? And you'll also have to ensure, because they are willing and they want to be part and parcel of the process. So that is one of the challenges actually. But we are doing all the best to ensure that all is well. Yes.
Wow. So what if can an initiative reach the government for some support?
I would say our government is clear, and of course that is something that I do say we are implementing our activities with the blessing of the government, because now without the government such a it has to be aware, because now it is the one that guide, it's the one that give the space, it's the one that give blessing. So by the end of the day, we are also trying to coordinate, and I would say something that the government is there also to support. Yes, because at the end of the day, we are doing our activity to ensure that we support the government to achieve the main objective to the people of Kenya. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And I have a question that I can ask. Maybe should we keep weights, or is there a point that Okoa Vijana Initiative will reach that you find that it can go outside the country?
Thank you. Yes, and when I was growing up, I remember I was told, what do you want to be? So when you ask me that, I want to relate to exactly that question, that it is not only just outside the country, but it's our dream that it can go globally, internationally, worldwide, to solve the problem of young people, not only in Kenya, but even in East Africa. But for now, we are trying to ensure that the first thing, clean your house. We'll have to ensure that our house that is Kenya is clean. We'll also have to ensure that our house that is our counties are clean. Then at the end of the day, we can also think on how we can be able to reach the outside community.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. I still have another question that concerning this issue of the colleges and university. Does Okoa Vijana Initiative pay the school fees for the young people?
Yes, I would say that, but now depending on which support we have get, because sometimes we can sit as an entity. I will say that there are others that we have actually supported. Proudly I can mention of that. And when a comrade cry, and of course there's fellow comrades, we can organize ourselves and support where we can. And of course, it's something that we are still calling on board, because it's our dream that is the name Okoa. It is, I guess, actually it means to save the youth. So we need to save ourselves within our tech industry, our education industry, our social life industry. So it's something that actually we are also trying to do to ensure that we create a space even within our education system.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. Does the church give you any support?
Yes. That, the first thing that you can do, you can ask blessing from God.
Sure.
So I do say our activities we have implemented through the blessing of God, seeking even the prayer in our churches. So I think church is also the priority and first of it, that actually we can say it has really supported. And of course, we have also get some of the partners. Actually, some of them have even come from Kasarani. Sometimes they came to the community. They feed our community. Sometime when there was a lot of drought, recently be able to remember. So I do say it has also be part and parcel of the process.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. I don't know how to ask this question, but
allow me just to say this.
Yes.
Actually, I think for purposes of doubt and record, I want to say the first blessing that we got as an entity was actually from the church.
Wow.
One of the pastor, and I don't know whether I can be allowed to say
just mention
in front of our camera. That is Pastor Gideon, who is actually coming from Isinya. He just heard of this dream and he called me. We had a conversation. Actually, he was the first person to buy for us the banner are actually the standing banner
Wow.
for that organization, and they give us the blessing. So we have to mention, because there are so many that we have not mentioned, but I've just mentioned him of the question that you asked me, has the church supported this one?
Yeah.
So I think without fear of contradiction, it has.
Wow. So the church has played a role in the initiative. Oh my goodness, that's very amazing. So as we continue up with this conversation gained from AdTech TV, I want to tell you that your TV, your word, you are everything. The conversation is the youth conversation, and we are live across all social media platforms. Remember to always subscribe and follow us on Facebook as we keep going on words. We're going back for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll be winding up the show. Remember, if you are Gen Z not tuning in the show, oh my, you are missing a lot. See you after the short break. And thank you very much for keeping tuned at the youth conversation. We'll still continue with the conversation about the young people with our guest Gideon. We are still continuing with the conversation after the break. So Gideon, I'm just going to begin this question.
Yes.
Young people are just use the name that we normally use, the Gen Zs. You know, they are people who want to be involved in decision making. They want to be involved, you know, they want to be very close with what you are doing. And you have said that you are a Gen Z or so. How do you keep these young people close to you in the decision making, in whatever you are doing? How do you keep them close?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Caleb. Right, I think I get you. Like, how can I be able to draw my fellow young people close to me? I think that speaks for itself, because whatever that I'm doing,
they share the decision or that.
Yes, it will bring it itself. But now the question is, we have a group, and of course it's not a group that it will go on record. That is actually the Gen Z. That actually has bring a new change to this country, because I think from then we are able to see a change. What raised recently, that we have seen a group who are coming to say that the finance bill that was coming was not part and parcel of their process. And you know, those young people came, they say we are leaderless, we are partyless, and that is, nobody was coming to cross them, and they are coming to demonstrate peacefully. In fact, the only weapon they have was phone, and their phone was to take selfies, to take pictures of themselves. So I think this is a group that has written history to our country, because if they are able to do that peacefully without riot, it basically shows there is a future, and people are saying that we don't want something that we are not part and parcel of it. We want something that officially it generated from us. We want something that officially it will favor us. So I think this young generation need voice, need attention, need to be heard, and actually need the support that need actually their relating activity that they do on their daily basis. So I think by doing that, it's something that we need to create a space for them. It's something that we need to let them speak. It's something that we cannot actually run away for, because these are young generation within our circle. But how are we doing that? We are doing that by letting them to come even to the table decision making, because the first thing, these young... Pardon?
You sit down with them and discuss, eh?
Yes. Personally, I will say that it is a platform that we create for all of us. Because now, if we are able to come together and listen each other, and we are able to come to a decision making like this one, like we are able to make decision with ourselves, I think it will be the best thing that we can do. But if people are making decision on behalf of us, and they are bringing us the decision that they have made, I think that's where there is a challenge.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's amazing. And I can just ask you a question. How do you measure the success of your initiative? How do you normally measure the success of that Okoa Vijana?
I measure it in many ways. The first thing is actually, how is the sustainability of the organization? Because now I'm telling you it's 4 years old, and we are really working tirelessly to ensure that it is done. What I'm saying that we have to support our young people. The members are the young people. If we are not able to give them attention, if we are not able to support what they are looking for, if we are not able to work as a team, then what is the essence of having it? And then, so I think that is how we can measure it. First of all, to see the sustainability, and then the other thing, to see the development and the growth of young people. Because if young people are not empowered, if young people are not informed, then what the sake of having it? So that is how we can measure the development, the future, and also the progress and also the growth of this organization.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I will not leave without asking this question.
Yes.
If you have followed the tradings, you find that there's a video that has circulated across the social media platforms of a police officer, trying to harass a young person. The police brutality. It has been there. It is still there. And right now, I've just been wondering, when I was still perusing through the news, I came across that the IGP, or who was just there, he was just holding the position, right now he has been placed. Do you think that there's any change that is going to bring?
The first thing that you need to have in mind, nobody is above the law. We have a constitution that governs every Kenyan. And be it who you are, nobody is above the law. So it's just actually the matter of respecting of our law, following it. And that is the first thing that actually we can call to our law enforcement officers, to ensure that sometime this is our country. And for sure, that is somebody's child. That is somebody who has a home. We need to take care of other people. I am aware of the video that actually has circulated as from yesterday. And of course, I think it was clear it was from a video was a student at Multimedia University who are demonstrating. Those are young people who are saying that their voice has not been heard. Their institution infrastructure was not well to their perfection. So I think they came to demonstrate, which I think sometimes we need also to respect the people of Kenya. If somebody has been found maybe violated the law, arrest them, take them to be charged, or arrange them to the court so that they can be charged. Rather than killing cause, we will be able to kill our country. So the first thing, we need to follow the law, because nobody is above the law. Even those are officers. I think it's the high time that they also need to pay attention to what people are saying. Because sometimes people cannot be in the streets if there is no challenge. And you can attest for me. Caleb, will you just go here to maybe even make noise without having a challenge? You know how you have to get out when you have a challenge. So I think we need to stand and ask ourselves, where did we go wrong? And when we do that, we will be able to curb such challenges, police brutality, the abduction that is there, because of course we are aware of the 3 people who have been abducted in Kitengela. It's actually the news that is going there. And you ask yourself, these are people who have home. These are people who actually their parents are suffering. Because sometimes when you give birth to a child and of course you are told they are abducted and they are not seen, as a parent you will not sit in peace. You'll actually be asking yourself, what am I doing if I'm not having a kid? So I think it's a challenge that we are having and we need to take care. That is something that has happened even before. Still happening. If we need to do justice to our country, we need to wake up and actually protect the voice of Kenya. We need to wake up and realize that if we kill the people of this country, we are actually killing the population of our development. And that sometimes we are finding that we are just going back. How many people are being killed with an innocent soul? And actually you have heard of a child who was shot in Rongai. You are aware of the incident. So I think when we peruse record of what happened, it's something that traumatized people. It's something that actually challenging us, and we need to take care. You have also asked me of the current situation that actually the previous acting IG actually Masengeli, who was just summoned by the court actually 7 times. It's really challenging because that raised alarm to people, because now Kenyans are there saying that who is this above the law? And that's something that I started saying, that nobody is above the law. We are all enshrined and protected by the Constitution of Kenya. And we all need to respect this law. In our country, we have 3 arms of government. That is judiciary, legislatures, and executive. All 3 arms of government are independent, because legislatures make rule by their own. That is why sometimes when even the president, that's why you can find when the legislatures want to impeach the president, they can, because power is enshrined with them. You find court can even nullify the result of the presidential. And it is there in our record. The previous election, back then 2017, it was actually nullified by the Supreme Court of Kenya. And you find people went back for fresh election. Why? That is an independent house that everybody need to respect. You see, when you come to executive, that is the office controlled by the president. It is also independent. It will make laws. So I think it's the high time that also our leaders, and when I say that, I mean those who are occupying the independent offices or who are oversighting other authorities, need to respect the law. And I think it's something that Kenyans are asking themselves for. Why? And of course, we are also asking ourselves why that happened, because nobody is above the law. Somebody could have just go to court as it was summoned, hear their plea, so that they can be able to know what action can be taken. But you find that raise an alarm, and I think we are aware what happened today, that actually it was officially endorsed the new appointed IG of police. And of course, I really wish to congratulate him and expect that cooperation will be there in that office. Yes.
Wow. I have seen some organization going to the court and they say that this is not justice. We have seen some like Law Society, like the Kenya National, Human Rights. Do we, like organization that is fighting for the rights of these young people, their well-being, thinking about the young people? Shall we maybe expect your organization one day to do such a thing? If I was to ask that funny question.
The first thing that you need to ask yourself, what is our focus area? Such organizations are made purposely for that. There are other organizations that their work is maybe activism, maybe even to fight. So it depends on what role you play.
A young person,
yes,
you see him being very, beaten up by the police. Can your organization go and report such a thing?
I think the first thing that you need, it cannot only just wait for the organization, but even personal, individual level. Because if you see something worse, before even it escalates to the organization, how have you done to ensure that you have solved the problem within that? But basically, to answer what you have asked me, it is the dream that, of course, we can never be actually found within the court justice going to do, because we have peace. So I'm not looking a problem coming, but I'm looking a peaceful society that we will never be found in court.
Wow,
yes.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a big thing to hear. It's good to have the future also, not for oneself, but also for the country. And that's amazing to have you, Mr. Honorable Gideon, in our studio in AdTech TV. Remember, I'll always keep on reminding you to keep subscribing to our channel, and this one makes us to grow daily. As you wait there, because I see the producer, see that our time is not on our side at all. What are the challenges that you personally, not the initiative, personally, you faced carrying this initiative in your shoulder, on your shoulders?
Thank you so much, Caleb. And you have asked very, 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 very important question.
Yeah.
Like, what is that personal challenge that I'm passing? The first thing, sometimes you can be tired. That is a challenge for it itself.
Yeah.
So when you are tired, you find on how you are going to make this one. Sometimes you can even feel to give up, but you find this is a baby that has to grow, and you have to take care of. So there are a variety of the challenge, and of course working to ensure that it be is also a challenging thing. So I think that is what I could have said about it. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. There's somebody outside there watching this live broadcast, and then he's asking himself, how can I get in touch with this initiative?
Okoa Vijana Initiative right now focuses in 4 counties: Kajiado, Narok, Bomet, and Mombasa. It's our dream that one day we can explore to all over the country and ensure that we work to save the generation growing. And of course, we have so many dreams to ensure that we have saved the generation of our country. We have our social media platform that somebody can get in, but maybe I can only give 2 so that whoever is wishing will get. We have our landline number, that is 02. I should be allowed to give on air.
Right. We are typing even.
Sorry. 02 48 38 54. I'll give the last attempt. 02 48 38 54. We also have email. You can write Okoa Vijana Initiative Group. Okoa
much.
Yes, so and as we wind up this, the youth conversation, I just allow our guests to look at the camera and address the nation because Gen Zs are really watching this. How can they get in touch with you, the social media groups, all those handles?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Caleb. I think I can go direct to give our number, our landline contact that somebody can get in touch with us. 02 48 38 54. 02 48 38 54. We also have an email. That is Okoa Vijana Initiative Group. That is one word, Okoa Vijana Initiative Group at gmail.com. And now, my call to my fellow country is actually to foresee ourselves growing tomorrow, to foresee ourselves doing better for the future of this country. It's my dream that tomorrow will be promising for all of us.
Sure.
It's my dream that we bury our ideology differences. It's my dream that we bury our differences as people and reason together to better the future of this country. We have got independent in 1963. That is almost 61 years down the line right now. The question that we have is, are we an independent country? Are we a free country? Are we a democratic country? And when we ask ourselves that question, we will be able to ask ourselves, what is an achievement that we have done for all that time? Are we still passing the Mereru era time? Are we still suffering with the abduction? Are we still suffering with unemployment? Are we still suffering with poor infrastructure? And when we ask ourselves such question, we have a lot to achieve. We have a lot to look for the future. And that can be achieved with you and I to unite and speak in one voice. Kenya is our country. Kenya remains to be our motherland. And for the flag of this country to continue flying higher and higher, we need to work together as people. We need to forget about how I'm going to better myself alone, but how I'm going to better my country, Kenya. We need to forget on how we are going to better or even put your pocket alone, but put the pocket of Kenya. Because when our country come into our priority, we will be able to do a lot. And my dream and also my question, not even the question, but my advice to my fellow young generation, our country is the best. Let's all sit together, do something that aligns to the interests of our country, either by working hard, without looking any job that you have got. Somebody is just looking for a soft job. It is hardly. Let's all work hard to better the future of this country. So it's the dream that I'm also passing through AdTech TV, that it can go globally, that it can go worldwide to change our country. And this is a country that we love. So maybe that is something that I'm having. I also want to ask young people, let us come from drugs abuse and ensure that we work for the best of ourselves. Young people are sick because of mental health. Young people are suffering because of the stress that they are having in their life, either because of the ignorance that we still have, either because of the laziness that we still have. But when we work together as a team, we will be able to see a future and a progressing country. I'm also calling on board goodwill wishers who are standing there to come and support, to come and rescue us from this dream that we are having, to ensure that it align and it become reality. This dream that we are having will one day be true.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh my goodness. Gideon, Honorable, you have just shared the amazing thing that is hardly spoken by many people. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you too.
I look forward to see you again.
Sure.
I look also to see the Okoa Vijana Initiative.
Absolutely.
Being the best.
Absolutely.
I look forward also to see that a platform where the young people will actually get help.
Sure.
That's what we look for.
Sure.
So thank you very much for your time. They just been the Youth Conversation Corner with Musyoki hosting it. I will not leave without telling you that one thing about young people life is that every day they make a change. What you have done today, do greater tomorrow. Until next Friday in the Youth Conversation, see you in the same place, same time, with another guest. I want to wish you a good night. See you next Friday.